I'm also going to clean the room as I do this video. Let's see if I can multitask. Anyway, so the second question I have is, how can I withstand the second year of social isolation due to the global pandemic that has caused all the world to shelter in place? How do I minimize the psychological and physical effects of social isolation? I mean, I have not been purely isolated for various reasons. Too long a story, but I've been navigating it pretty deftly, I must say. I've been very, what do you call it? I mean, not just from reduction-y, but nuanced in terms of risk management. But still is meant separation from, lots of people in my life. Some of them I'm fucking glad to be away from. Some of them I really miss. That's pretty much it. This expert could be anyone, dead or alive, real or fictional. The machine, hopefully not Tom Hanks in Castaway or The Ball. Expert must be someone who has thought a lot about psychology, human social dynamics, epidemiology, virology, public health, and policy. The expert has much lived experience regarding social isolation and social reintegration. And beep boop boop bop bop boop bop 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 boop bop bop. Meta narrative, therapeutic, a warm blanket, a fireside chat, a friend you are yet to meet. And 2 bags of chips.
Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Goethe, the expert on my phone screen, seems stoic in front of a hazy blue backdrop. It's superimposed over what looks like the Augsburg town hall where Goethe had once worked. You sigh under your breath, oh Werther, you think he is the guy to talk about this stuff with? He had that short story that killed folks. I'm not. For better or worse, AIDS AI is focused on looking up only information beneficial to you. Although, sometimes it follows you around like a live stream from under your sink. Right now it wants to add a nostalgic pop-up window of your favorite TV show. You chuckles, okay, call it up. This will be interesting to see what you think I like. I'm excited. High-pitched crazy electronic music erupts from your computer speakers. You recognize it, it's the theme music to your now defunct TV show, The World Conquest. You had totally forgotten all about this theme music. You, good God. I forgot how embarrassing this was. It starts out with the bubbly sounds of someone's Japanese daughter singing off-key inane lyrics, but soon the stentorian voice of the narrator begins.
introduce it.
This fan service lady talking about a team of wannabe world conquerors aiming to unite continents they've never heard of before with sticks and bubble gum only serves to set the mood. What are you trying to show me? Am I actually as deluded as Kurtzer? You ask the little computer screen. New messages from Yomi. Placing on screen. On screen appears the official icon for a communication from your twin sister. Sister? So, I have a sister. Obi-Wan was wise to hide her from me. You speak aloud to yourself, conspiratorially, Dr. Frankenstein-like. You've always had an overly imaginative, theatrical streak in you. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks for the read.
So colorful. Colors. No, really, see, the colors are, the visual train of thought goes elsewhere. Damn it. Stop it, thoughts. Anyway, I digress. The point is you have a tendency to romanticize things. Or at least find patterns and storylines in everything. Eight. What do you mean when you mean romanticize? Good question. It's two-part answer. First, making something greater than it actually is, inflating the value or importance of the subject matter, and second, filtering the world through a rosy glow, emphasizing feel-good narratives, and minimizing anything that might be an eyesore. Okay. Go on. On topic, you've always done this with your twin sister. You're so creative with these titles. I'm a bit afraid to think you might be meaning the titles of these episodes. Like, you read the stuff that's outside this immediate scenario. You hear footsteps, 3 of them outside YHVH's door. You, oh sure, deflect from my not quite question by bringing Yahweh into this and giving them a dressing room. That's totally fair. But, anyway, let's get to answering that question, which is basically your whole defense of your completely irrational fear of giants. We'll start small, a thought experiment, drawing analogies and making correlations between seemingly unconnected concepts. A guessing game. So, a mind game to pass the time with unpredictable results. Perfect. Let me show you something. Don't try to poke it with your finger, think at it. You, okay, shoot. The walls merge into a big screen, or holodeck, as they progress upwards. Whatever stone was between them seems to disappear, to integrate with the environment. Until it becomes sky, and you are outside of the haven. You're in an arena? Looks that way. Wait, no, it's a stage, with an amphitheater. And not just any amphitheater, this is the drama section's amphitheater.
Okay. Close your eyes and think about the blankness of your mind. Now what? I can't see shit. The darkness fills your vision. Their consciousness itself vanishes like a wisp in the dawn. Was that it? No. Have we just learned something new about ourselves? Possibly. Or we were just indulging in more thinking because we ran out of show to tell. The walls merged into a big screen around the deck as they progress upwards. Whatever stone was between them seemed to disappear. A great environment, a chunk of sky, and we were outside of the... I like being in here. Come on. For object in this object oriented universe any day.
You, waiting for object in this object-oriented universe, any day now. It appears in your mind, almost as if it had always been there. A plain token.
Plain token. Don't poke my hand. Take token. Examine token.
Take token, examine token. Rub token, scream at token, get frustrated with the token and throw up surrounding narrative and start over. You, why pass me a token? I've already described this scene and the questions I have aren't exactly narrative perturbations. Thinking to control the flow for a change, are we? It's what we're here for after all, providing creative inspiration despite our narrative burdens. The answers though, or at least my answer is, you'll see later. Took token. Who's who and what's what list description, an enigmatic, twisted oval with at least 2 pinhole-sized dots you had previously missed in your pre-examination of this seemingly unimportant artifact. Let's just pretend I'm creating profundity and move along, shall we? Fine by me. This scene takes place well. It seems pretty straightforward so far.
Identify the inscription and or emperor or depicted on token.
Identify the inscription and or emperor depicted on token. You, it does. Where is it supposed to be? Tell me and, well, I'll tell you I guess. The underside, you fool. Ahem. You, oh just a second. On the blank side, smeared and faded as it is with H and some sort of fluid, is what seems to be a missive of some kind transcribed in an old English type script your modern mind cannot hope to decipher.
Well, that's the time for my limbic brain. Thankfully, my limbic brain went to study Old English, and as was proven during Grindelfest of 08, remember? So let me just scare myself and get to translating.
Thankfully my limbic went to study Old English, as was proven during Grendelfist of '08. Remember? So let me just scare myself, and get to translate. Although I'm reading this upside down, so it might all be nonsense. Probably is. Rune parchment's list description, a page of an extensively illuminated tome, partly crinkled. What's this? A message in alien. Alien language that is. The tiny runes are arranged in clusters offset by confusing precision from one another, stacked atop one another without apparent pattern aside from the rows and columns of course. Wow, the person had a lot of time and fine motor skills. ID, ego, superego. What you make out seems to almost defy label. Over-intellectualization defeats regularization, but even chance has a mind with intentions. The intellective faculty appears to be in conflict with creative self-expression, advance row versus recession column if you will. Pore over it until the sun goes down, then make a guess as to the token's meaning. The arrangement isn't even aleatory, either the creator was a genius or is being applauded as one post-mortem. This goes far behind the gamut of popular complexity. Well done, indeed.
Okay.
Cool. Is all you can say as you nearly choke on your gargantuan swallow one ell of breast. The professor complains you're spraying crumbs into his laboratory, chew dollar, but you're long since past caring. Chew some more Charleston chew. Down the hatch as it leads dollar on we're completely different. A talent few are aware of, yet the annual competition draws a good wise annually. Your entry this year involved wise rabbits waltzing the dollar orange around a black piano. Yes, you use instruments in your entries, what of it? You also directed a dollar hot for dollar hot reproduction of Sante Sandre. End of excerpt. Everyone who isn't me is an enemy to artistic purity. Post extras. Basement search 2. The room reveals no secrets, though you are equally confounded at your lack of success. Perhaps they keep the more precious items in a less accessible place. If only you could find some way of exploring the upper floor. Go back outside and attempt to seek a way up there, or stay down here for now. 2 options are available. Stay down here and stumble upon Alejandro Jodorowsky. Enlist him to collaborate with you on a code-by-code redo of Zork. William Abrams will bring Jesse Hummer to write the code. Albie the albino is busy with Too Spooky. After an intense, short period of studying, you manage to teach Jodorowsky everything you know. Jodorowsky takes some AP classes at Bedford Hills College and learns even more. After 10 months or so pass, you manage to find a publisher. You plunk the huge codebook of Zork in front of the main folk of Farrar, Strauss, and Giroux. You are biting your nails. Alejandro flirts with the reception. You whittle your nails. Finally the receptionist, the associate editor, and their boss come out of the offices. Hello young fellows. We have read your codebook through and through. We have looked at many others this year, but none have really impressed us like yours has. Would you care to come upstairs and discuss things? Asks a tall, white-haired man. You and Alejandro say in unison, yes. While quietly you place your right hands behind your backs, fondling the hilt of your respective daggers. The magazine under the elastic of your shorts feels reassuringly solid. You can wait no longer. But you do. Why in the world would anyone in their right minds deliberately put off being in a location where there is food, drink, electricity, books, and pleasantly warm? Of course, maybe they might want you to do something for them. First things first, begins the man whose name you learned is John. We must of course ask you a few questions about the book. Jodorowsky raises his hand. No questions yet, Alejandro. The man, but, you are Alejandro. What my friend means to say is, what is there to ask? It is the It is the everyman who is asking. It seems I am asking you, but I too am also the everyman. Jodorowsky shifts his weight uneasily in his love seat and spreads his fingers so that you see the lines, the hand, the palm, the fate. Hold on. The associate editor hands you a CD-ROM about Zork implementations. Here you are. Let's pop this puppy in, and then you'll understand. With that, he puts Nipponichi's Zork games into the CD-ROM tray, closes it, and presses the power button. First there is blue screen, then white letters appears on black background. Zorknet Wide Magazine. You have 271 unread messages. Authenticating, Nipponichi Messenger 1.0001C Nipponichi Software Incorporated. Let's answer each and every message. It is the Zork way. The grandfather clock strikes 12. You are on the 11th floor of the Nipponichi software building. The end. No need for reply there. You open the second email. From The Descendants of Ivy Iad, podcast at theofmad.co.near. Time, the 20th of November 2015, 9:08 PM. Subject, 2 sent you a new draft. Hi Jennifer, we just posted a new draft of our latest chapter, Dell XPS/C:\/Windows/desktop/ivmadrafts/Fluvanu_IR Roller Coaster. Malware, don't touch the CRT or it'll explode. Third email, open it. You try not to dwell on the niggling feeling that you're somehow wasting precious time. You open the next email and feel a numbness all over your body, even your lips feel swollen. Please allow yourself a moment to take this in. Forgive me for resorting to measures such as these. I am in dire need to reach you by any means necessary, for I do not have much time left. You must have had quite the lonely childhood, even growing up in a seemingly happy family. An emptiness gnaws at your happiness from within. Something seems to be missing. The reason is quite simple, you have not yet found your one and only. Cut through the chase. What if you could meet him or her tonight? Would you like to? Spam. Ashley Madison or some shit. Next. Did you like that? I am on the brink of losing the roof over my head pay-wise. Writing sucks. Unless something is done to garner more interest in Ayn Rand statues, not wearing a dirty bathrobe and eating at Pancheros will turn out to be quite literally impossible for me. Second email, open it. The noise of tea, dirty bathrobe and eating at Pancheros comes out from between. Mental note, make Ayn Rand statue depicting her in a dirty bathrobe. Focus group and see what happens. Idea written down, moving on. JLKJJ, Alksch, Laksch, Flaksch, Forksch, Flaksch, what is this? Quickly, flush it. Flush itself away. Why? You can't. You. Oh dear reader, I'm afraid you won't make it yo. What is this? Why aren't you working? Next email. What is? No. Fuck it. Send the damn computers back to the media department. You stop writing and rub your eyes. The office around you feels cold. There's no happiness to be found here, rather than feel trapped. Don't you wish to escape this awful place? Someone by the name of Jennifer doesn't have that luxury. For tonight, she'll have to suffer in front of her laptop and write a minimum of 2 8,000-word article before crashing on her office couch. What's the article about? What is the article about? Her editor has demanded. Anything. You think to yourself, just let me out of here. When all is said and done, that familiar figure by the name of Gladys Kravnica, the demonic temptress in pixie form whose speciality is illusions, cuts your time a little short, gloating over her sweet victory. Shut up, you complain, gathering your things. Happy now? Where's the publishing contract? She laughs, examining her filthy claws. Oh yes, something like that, Jennifer mutters herself, quietly. Summon Lewa. Summon Notary Public. Jennifer is prepared to sign. It doesn't take long for your new caretaker to notice a sharp downturn in your behavior. By the end of the week, she's already started delaying the time you spend online to work on other interests, she says, and by the end of January, you're down to under an hour, which gradually turns into quick battery-saving power naps whenever you find yourself downtown. Which is daily, thanks to that damn paycheck. How big is that paycheck again? That's not even mentioning the new babysitter, a tiny sprite of a girl known to the world as Gladys Kravnica. Jennifer met her on Tinder. No, actually the two met in real life, and hit it off. What Gladys saw in her, you'll never know, although she swears that something must have been in those cocktails. You might rather believe that than whatever tall tale she's thinking in her head right now. Summon lawyer. Summon notary public. Summon court-mandated mental health expert. Prove your wellness. Dissolve. Get revenge. Free the whole class? Maybe Jennifer's reserved nature resonated with her. More likely, she was just really into girls. Who even knows your obsolete wiring can't process it? It doesn't matter. What matters is that Gladys seemed to be living with Jennifer now, and as such she has decided to take it upon herself to act as your caretaker whenever Jennifer has to go out or God forbid work. Convince Jennifer and Gladys to scissor all weekend. Escape during that weekend. Sell Gladys's car and Jennifer's computer. Hire sitter to find Gladys's car, has child safety locks. Rescind conservatorship. Hide in plain sight. Get revenge. Of course, you've gotten this far with just pig-headedness and a little bit of empathy, and look where it's gotten you. Perform mindfulness meditation while in hiding. Increase empathic capacity, get it swole. Formulate infiltration plan. Get revenge. Save class. It's not like you don't have designs on the future, it's just your experience has taught you that if you live your life focusing on the future, you will forget to live in the moment, and if there's one thing you've learned from Half-Mad Henry and his ilk, it's that sometimes life is to be enjoyed, not endured. Life is pain, set to music, no notes translates to nothing. Put on your favorite album to kick ass and Rim Boys too. Polish gun, with occasional music.
Polish.
Make s'mores while holding Lighthouse Girl hostage. Free class. Help you. Add note on lighting s'mores with flame. It's not about the flames but the little bits of marshmallow melting from the camaraderie. And the frail layer for carbone burn.
Carbone? Oh, carbone. Oh.
Will carry me. Human making abilities in lit flame, the marshmallows are beings that are not of this earth, pastoral beauty in all things. Feel loved and less alone waiting. More merrier. During the time between first lunch and recess there is a dedicated physical education class that you have yet to take. As per Miss Case's suggestion, however, the cruel reality waiting for you is anything but fun, at least, not for you.
Wait a minute. What is next? Oh, good. Yeah, how do we get here? Oh, yes.
You pause. Hey, Aid. Was Goethe supposed to chime in at some point? I don't usually chime in on routine matters, but yes, it was Goethe. Aid pauses. Who was your favorite poet throughout this? You shake your head. Poets were divided into two schools, the subjectivism and the objectivism. Goethe, a pause, stood for the latter. Aid is equally quiet, seeming to mull it over.
Good poetry. We use cookies under this roof. Meow. No allergy. Nation epigrat. Yes. The new Copernicus. Okay, it's good name. Nice song. Ooh. Between fields and lawn, between hedgerow and thorn, between grasses and tree, where's my darling? Tell it me. I know my darling, she's not at home. My precious thing was just a roam. Is a shiny, blossom green. There goes my darling, happy and free. Near the stone by the brook, yes, I took. The first time you leaves, what do I see? Could it be? It's for you. I see. Tell me what you do. Okay, two birds. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so once more you venture, much lamented shadow, into the open light of day, encountering the fleshly fire windows. And then there is no remedy. It's as if you relived the former season, and you were refreshed by the same fields of dew. And after the days of welcome eclosions, the sun's last rays against the true dew. I fated to remain, you to vanish. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Bullwinkle will continue to recite. Human life seems a pleasant fate. The days are sweet and the nights so great. And in enchanted paradise, sit down, we've scarce begun to enjoy the heavenly sun. When all at once our own confused endeavor, clown flicks with her own self and then the other. Nothing is complimentary, is sweet wish. It darkens outside when inside it's bliss. And bright exteriors hidden from our gaze. Joy is near, yet no one knows its face. Did you like me, Rocky?
Human life seems a pleasant fate. The day so sweet, and the night so great. And, in an enchanted paradise, set down. No further eulogy lies mongst the blessed. The thing is yet to come if it ever comes. You finish writing, laying down your pen and exiting your room, careful not to disturb the goose eggs in their hexagonal formation. You run a hand over one, feeling the faintest vibration thrum from under your palm where you cup it, as if to signify that something beyond a disc of simple metal has been felt.
Let's try that again, so that maybe the whole thing can be poems. A poem,
The vegetable mold asserts its domain, and the frame itself torments the lonely soul. Yet none of these tormentors may be held responsible if the fruits are lacking, or naught but their spoilage. You, moonshine of life and cheerleader, hear my plea, promise me so much as a grain of peace.
Let's do the other one. Everything we've grasped it with its power. The women's seductive sheep fills this air. A young man, happy in the flower of youth, steps out in spring, and is the spring in truth? Delighted, wondering who achieved this thing. It's not that much of an achievement. He looks around, the world's a gift to him. Some hasty impulse draws him swiftly on, and neither wall nor palace block his vision. Like the birds that skim the wooded peaks, he hovers, and around his love he sweeps. When he swooped down from the sky, divined her loving glance, and then he closely binds.
Now we think we've grasped it, with its power. A woman's seductive shape fills the hour. A young man, happy, in the flower. Now look and see how he can't detach her from himself through anything he tries. Who can woo and not know what the feeling's called, and doesn't need to since to him it is more precious than when some bearded sage has entitled it with some long-dead phrase.
Wow.
Having read it, you sit back with a sigh of relief, the first of many mornings for such an activity.
Wow. let's try the last one. No, oh wait, there's not. It goes on. But first too early, then too late prepared, he feels his flight hemmed in, himself ensnared. To see her is a joy, to part is pain, a greater joy to see her yet again. A single glance retrieves the years past, but a harsh farewell waits at the last. I'm such a dude.
But first too early, then too late prepared. He feels his flight hemmed in, himself ensnared. To see her is a joy, to part is pain. A greater joy. Of one such as her do I wash the feet before I perish in the icy stream. Now the loitering path is my peaceful cell, and now a painted veil from me it slips, and now her heart flashes, her looks restore, golden years return, my former fires to burn. Sir.
What? I just wanna stab it. Just to make sure it's not actual poem. No. No, not at all. Okay. And then let's do the last one. Doing the last one. Yuck. And now be on go. Pull the rest of this out of your ass. You smile, my friend, with feeling this is right. A fearsome parting made your name shine bright. To your misfortunes, wretchedness were kind. For better or worse, you left us all behind. And we were drawn uncertainty again, down all of passion's labyrinthine ways. And for us there's anguish with each breath. Then at last the parting reaches a death. How sweet it sounds when the poet sings, evading the true death parting brings. Entangled in these torments to blame. Yes, I'm gone, give them power to speak their pain.
You smile, my friend, with feeling, as is right. A fearsome parting made your name shine bright. To your misfortunes wretched undying memory will come away of all your lovers and all that pain, yet not destruction's hand, nor even time, will wear away when your words are sublime. Like laurel shadowing your honored urn, they will stand, lives of the dead will burn, divinity enlivens you, and turns death into immortality in urns. Aid, Goethe, was it good for you? Actually, I filled the notebook not as an attempt to communicate but rather as an attempt to explain how I ended up here, so perhaps it wasn't good for you, but I certainly found those poems intriguing and enjoyed reading through them for insight into my situation. Thanks for that, I suppose. Aid, you're quite welcome. But I was asking Goethe, and in a way that suggested sexual congress as poetry collaboration. Goethe, was it good for you? Wow, I laughed out loud at your sexual banter with Goethe. Aid, I don't bounce off the walls, so to speak. The joke is used up in the typing, but when a situation is funny, I laugh. Otherwise, it's someone else's joke you're reading, as it were. When speaking spontaneously, I tend to recall witty but relevant statements and observational humor, relative to the ongoing discussion. There is little known about humor. Goethe, samesies. My understanding is that humor as a primary survival tool pretty much ends around age 5 or so. Keeping a balanced sense of the grotesqueness, distinction, of human experience, accepting sad realities with humor, and seeing humor in sublime moments are all parts in creating, I think, what we call a character and ultimately what we call a person. Goethe, I like slapstick, myself. Don't get much of that where I'm from. I should have had Werther stick it out long enough to see the Three Stooges. Beautiful boy in the library, is the human emotional need for stories universal? This I must know. You, right now, I dunno. But if I had to guess, I would say certainly the need to hear stories and be told things is pretty universal. It's a major bonding mechanism you see in people who are otherwise separated by language or culture or status, for example grandparents and grandchildren. Goethe, you and Rough Trade a few decades from now. You, but your question is more difficult, and I hope you know that I don't mean to dismiss it, I just don't think I have a good answer for it, at least, not yet. Anyway, I was going to reply by asking if the social needs of other primates, social or otherwise, are universal. Goethe. Unfortunately, there was little of that. The class system in 18th century Germany didn't favor it, sadly enough. The working class was generally seen as nothing more than dumb, vile drudges good for nothing but manual labor. Any encouragement of their mental faculties would have been wasted, according to most academics of the time. The middle class was just aspiring lower class trash pretending to be high class, and the ruling class knew better than to associate with the Untermenschen. It is a good thing I never longed to be a doctor. You, what did you long to be? Goethe, a mommy. You, ha ha. Goethe, but in all honesty, I'm scared of the future. So many changes I'll have to face. You have no idea how terrifying that is for someone like me. You, someone who's lived almost 2 centuries and enjoyed most of it. Whatever do you mean? Goethe, I've done a lot of things that haven't been worth remembering, and I know it. You, of course, you can't expect legendary days every day, it ruins their value. Goethe, so I'm pretty sure that guy was Werther, but why is he in 19th century clothing if this is the 21st? Well, one mystery at a time. Oh look, here he comes again. Should we hide, or confront, or what? I'll hide, you do confront him. Better yet, let us both cruise him. Goethe, no. Oh, come on. There are lots of words for friendship, you know. Goethe, okay fine, but not both at the same time. Why? Are you afraid I'll steal your thunder as usual? Never mind. I'll be down the road, out of your eye shot. Then we'll compare notes. This'll be fun. Or something. Goethe, you sound unnaturally excited. I trust you know what you're doing, but please, for the love of sanity and all that is good, do not tell him who I am if he asks. And whatever you do, don't mention Werther. You got it. Goethe, and don't write in this book while we speak, or I'll just end up having a conversation with myself. I don't think my ego could handle it. Our egos are more robust than you realize. But that's a topic for another time. I'm off. Goethe, yes. And may whatever force moves us guide your pen. I can't imagine Werther will be pleased to see me after all these years, but my time for apologies will come later if it comes at all. For now I just pray he hasn't come another madman like Khan. Or the both of us, for that matter, bar such dark thoughts so early in the morning. I'll be sure to work some wine into this evening's festivities, that'll set me right. You to yourself, mental note, slip Hyper Mickey into Goethe's wine tonight. Don't let him get depressed. You continue on down the road, which takes you up onto Old Bridge, crossing a rocky dry creek. To your left and about 20 feet downward is an embankment leading to the dried creek bed below. On the other side of the road is a steep incline that leads into a thick deciduous forest dotted with oaks and pines. The shade from the trees makes the forest even darker than it would normally be. A silhouette sits in the distance, motionless. Roll for sexy pose and cruisy stare. Goethe, aloud to himself, not a big talker, this one. We'll see about that. With my coat on I look a little like him, it seems. Whistles nonchalantly, if you're here to kill me, outlaw, I'm afraid you've come to the wrong place, this is my family's farm. My father is a good man and a citizen of the kingdom. Goethe, oh. I, however, am negotiable. What's your name? Never mind, what's your pleasure? My shift in the city guard doesn't end for another few hours and I need some excitement. Goethe snorts, stifles laughter. Oh dear me, that was quite the pickup line from a farm girl. Vamp girl, I'm not a farm girl no longer, Ranger. We moved to the big city when I was just a girl. My family were hoppers into old country Tartessos and struck it big here. You, story time. The whisper cascades around your brain, into your ear canal, in amongst the folds and grooves made cozy by countless hours of focus, stuffed with notes and dichotomies and haikus splattered with vivid metaphors. Methinks I'll have to save those for later. If you wish to look closer at your corrupted mind, who am I to stop you? This will present another version of Goethe's tale. There once was a W. Goethe, who kept a tight-lipped choker, and then one of the days, he itches, points his gaze.
And? Completed.
But his ideal world is so pretty. ZW, you may remember that in an earlier retelling of Goethe's tale, Frankenstein had a new task to perform after stealing the iron from the sea giants. See, Volume 1, Issue 2, he was sent to retrieve the sun and moon from the sky in a dreadful repetition of his diverting himself through thievery and procuring elements for gods who would keep him in service.
It's like, yo, bro, this is great.
He immediately refused and fled the city upon claiming he would rather the earth swallowed him whole than purge his tail beyond the point of no return. From Section 8b, we know that Goethe accused Frankenstein of mocking blabber, and said such raucous words that caused Frankenstein to scramble away in haste. Goethe had given up the city and the path it represented, yet here they were on a road through the woods which inevitably led to it.
Boy, do I like some Saturday exegesis.
I didn't think dead dreams would return to life, Goethe said, dragging himself to his feet and directing the beam of his flashlight down every corridor that branched off the road. Yeah, nostalgia is powerful. It used to kill veterans of the First World War. Good old days that had revived. Post-war depression pushed with a new outlet, yet another outlet. Opportunities for war machines evolving thanks to industrialization, keep the economy going, crowd-control tests of new weapons without attracting any undue attention, foreign policy and other excuses. Which way? Down the beaten path through the trees. To be young again. In a sense. Time breezes through the pages of your mind. We should wrap this up soon. I have some dalliances of my own to perform. Wake up before the crack of dawn tomorrow. It'll be a grind getting through before nightfall. Maybe we should make an exception, let IT out just once to run a tramline or get fiber optics into this area. Do I sense some resistance against my offer? Boy, you're a glutton for punishment. Take the batteries out of your scroll, your mom will call back eventually. No need to worry about whether technology is responsible for enslaving the world's masses. Right. Blood on all our hands, no use for the daily reminder. Let's get to it. Did you leave the light on? You remember this scene? All of it. Goethe kept his back to his future grave and stared off at the scraps of foundation poking out of rubble, mulling over whether or not this was truly where his dream lay during these moments of forlornness when an old friend came to visit him once more. Laertes told him something similar before slipping through a crack in the ice's lid and drowning. Geez, that's a terrible memory about a friend. I'm sorry you have that in there. So he should have gone left at Albuquerque. So they took the trash out to a field and burned everything inside. Addresses, poetry, letters, journals, bank statements, names, numbers, scraps of paper, anything that could connect the patient to the travesty taking place within this hospital, this doctor's records included. How did it feel being a walking exposé? Because that's what we'll be doing today. Doctor, I need you as sharp as your scalpel. My request might sound unorthodox, but so is the nature of what is waiting for us on the other side of town. Let's suit up and begin. A candle carefully placed in a medicine bottle illuminates the inside of the trashed studio apartment, no bigger than a lean-to made of red bricks, showering the 1920s area rug and casting giant spider-like shadows against the wall. Centered in the glow under a framed movie poster for Frankenstein, 1910, is a cheap folding plastic table with 3 open laptop computers, connected to an array of routers and access points using untraceable Wi-Fi hotspots. Under each lives the VM virtual machine, running Debian Linux with a story loaded and bonfire running in the background to conceal electronic noise. Let's do it.
Hmm.
What stories are in each laptop? Under the first, a virtual machine running the Michelangelo is loaded. The second has the notorious cult classic Hack and Slashes. The third, 97 Gumby episodes and 5 seasons of Futurama. Little Living 6. Blood pours from a cut on your hand, dripping down into a mouth below and to the left. You, who's that mouth? Who's a hungry mouth? There's some meat here, but it's not enough. There's an arm here, there's a leg here, and there's a body piled here. There's a butcher here with a cleaver in his hand. Who's that cleaver in his hand? Who's that body being chopped and hacked? Who's the hungry mouth? Yanking the butcher by the hair, you flip them over and identify written on the tiled wall of the shower behind them. The words of a song? Who's that songwriter that wrote this song? Who's gonna sing that song? Oh gosh, stand aside ladies, testing 1 2. Is there anybody there? Just turn the radio on. Is there anyone out there, just stuck in the middle like me? Even you could connect to another language, it's important. These letters formed words, these words formed sentences. These sentences stick together to form theme, mood, feeling. Who's that feeling what I'm feeling? We create emotion with non-existing evidence that we exist. What kind of wizardry is this, think? You sing the song, I signify the sign which begins usly. I second naturalis pox, esti oi fulla sicetet.
Keep going.
You look down from the sky and a tear trickles down your face. The letters turn to symbols, symbols into characters, characters into words, and words from words. Who's that writing these words? Who's that thinking that I be thinking? I hereby declare that you are worthless. Do I hear thunder? Do I detect rage? Did I render your kind ignorant? The lips on the portrait move as you conclude, ah, ah. You sing the unknowable classic of a song. I saw design. Word ye he? Ear sick in swanad may. Ear can't. What? Gol, su you I fool yeah. Yeah. Was thasund af thouls? Was they singing te rhyme? Can I coom a fit? Nined. Tushan? But worth. Knie try tor 199990 should our play Orgnasucky benign Warbaby is it? What's up, can you tell us what UFEEL? Now where have I heard those words before? I see the lips moving in sync with what I hear. Ear gun yay? And now in its original tongue of angels. I second naturally is pox, st full lasic eset. The room morphs and contorts, numerous dimensions colliding. Black, white, darkness, light. Up is down and down is up, left is right and right is wrong, fast is slow and slow is just right. Faust bin a Faust, Faust recognize Faust. Era feast tenor wet, my you doing HWR? Infinite resources in here. This dimension houses unlimited material resources surrounding you at all times, and you are but a mere thought form yearning to access this knowledge infinitely. And let's be frank here, you'll never run out of battery, ain't got no fucking battery. Better mine some Dogecoin up in this bitch. Do you feel lucky, Sparky? Well, do you? Think fast. My boy. What would your parents think? Huh? Teeth? Shoulder to shoulder. Meat of the mountain. A million frozen corpses piled up in defense of country. Does it get more blue-blooded American patriotic than that? What do you say once we take this over, then we go on and take over Moon Colony, Alpha, huh? What do you say? No sleep till the asteroid belt. I wonder what's looking up at the sky, right now as we speak, right now at this exact moment, in some places. They created light and we ran with it. Went as far as we could, but did they go too far? Right to the edge and beyond? Maybe you can't blame them for nothing. Two titans tussling as the say nada too complicated for yo ass, Cap'n. You sing the final song of the piece, Je Promethean. Hails Thringe Drenshot Creek Botis Abdon Wickany Hilejus cricketed bornages foci bob dedalus, primea, otimus tekelinidim chanimazmamotsula serptifascias. Goodbye. Goodbye, dear. Somebody out there still cares about you. Last night I dreamt that somebody loved me, no hope, no harm, just another false alarm. Last night I felt real arms around me, no hope, no harm, just another false alarm. So, tell me how long? Ugh. Achilles bleeds. We dream within a dream. We do everything within our power to avoid reality, ha Captain? Ha ha ha. What cunning bastards the gods are. They know all our buttons, all our skeletons, our weaknesses and fears. They stack the deck against us in a game that is rigged from the start, yet we still choose to play. We still choose to play. And we go and add loot boxes to all of it. Worse than tobacco companies, worse than Big Pharma. Our games are a disease and we are the plague. Fuck me, right? I'm infected with my own virus, it's like pulling out teeth to try to stop, but not today. Not today. I played a classic PS2 game yesterday, an old favorite. It's a 3D platformer in the vein of Super Mario 64, well regarded by critics, pretty popular but thankfully not iconic like Mario. The title, The Woes of Young Werther, The Rages of Dead Werther, it was buried in the same landfill as E.T. A search for it will yield little results, you'd be hard-pressed to find too many online stores that sell it. In fact, I'm lucky enough to own a copy of the game. Since this all started with an experimental game, there's something relatable about that. Lucky me, kill me. You wouldn't know it from its cover. A near pitch black picture with two glowing yellow eyes in the darkness. Optical flares streak from them across the blackness. You sing the climactic song, Lucky Me, Kill Me. One of the most daring companies in the gaming community put out a wonderful product several years ago. This company did things differently, stirred up controversy and made gamers think about games and how they are made with this particular title. They had famed person of letters, Richard Howard, write the script of the game, and the lyrics to Lucky Me, Kill Me. The song inspired by game. Most of the critics praised this edition, feeling as if it made the experience much more personal and apt to stick with the player for quite some time and inspire them to write brilliant memoirs on the experience later on. One critic said, "This is not simply a game, but an artistic movement. You will never play anything like this again. I'm seeing flashes of lightning through my closed eyelids." The voice on the other end of the receiver continues with attitude, "And it's my round." It's part of the song Lucky Me, Kill Me, lyrics written by and enlarged by big shot celebrity artist and cited poet, Richard Howard. Excerpt.
Making you write it.
And it's my round, you're drowning in a glass of wine. Thanks for the drink, thanks for the laugh, but it's time to roll this dice. The night is young, and so are we. Oh, my head hurts. Where am I? Where did I park the car? My eyes are sore as well, kind of hard to see right now. I hear birds chirping somewhere not too far away, and people talking really loud. I think I'm lying in the middle of the campus walkway. Was I attacked? Did I have too much to drink last night? Dear God, I need some Advil. I have a pulsating migraine behind my eyes, and the world is still spinning dangerously close to me right now. Thinking isn't exactly working out too great either. But then I recall my last memory. As I begin to retch in pain, and let everyone else walking by me know about it with whimpers and cries for meds. They seem to be content on stepping around me though, and carry on without coming to my aid. I guess I should have taken that karate class last year after all. This sucks. Get up. A female voice demands, you can't lie there forever.
What was it? Review.
Review from Charlie Snot 930, worst magic system ever. Seriously, you could make better magic systems on the spot. You know, if you were awake enough to do any thinking, instead of playing games. Perhaps this could be classified as an ability. Something like, Lucky Boy can create a vague idea of what he needs with only the subtlest subconscious clues. Yeah? Manifest level 1, duh. Of course I knew that. But the problem is, why would you create things out of thin air? In this level the user can create one object but it barely exists. It's like watching a movie or a slideshow. The images are there but you could never touch it or interact with it, unlike the real world where everything is made up of atoms and energy. Yet here, in this place, you have powers to alter reality to an infinitesimal degree. You, the better to spook you with, my stupid lad.
Oh.
Let's turn that frown upside down and melt the mountains. Mwahaha. Okay, so maybe not all nights were meant to be made. Wow, what a load of crap. The only way you're not going insane is knowing for a fact you're inside someone's cranium. Still, there's always time to perv on the women as they type, unobstructed by the NSA or any other dumb acronym. NSA, oh don't mind us, it's too late, we've seen everything. Enjoy your time on Earth, won't be much longer now, ha 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 ha. You've read most of these stories before. Some are original, others have been ripped from the headlines and my imagination. They are poorly revised and even worse formatted. You don't understand why anyone would write a story in first-person format and suffer from an overwhelming compulsion to share. You, I guess you haven't been truly lonely, Aid. These people, myself included, have a strong desire to share our thoughts and feelings. Sometimes you get the feeling you're being watched. All you want to do is focus on the task at hand, which is to find answers and bliss out while admiring something tangible, something real, but these are adult site chat rooms. Highest subscription fee. With inexplicably bouncy women distracting you for every dab. And God forbid if their usernames aren't supported by at least an ASCII of a favorite planet or food. Most of these planets are banned because their names are pornographic or blasphemous to one religion or another, but someone always comes along with the genius idea to resurrect the dead planet and pick up where they left off. So we have things like I can't believe it's not butter. Hash, but with even more butter than ever before. And Rhymatron 6. And the Felchworth Nebula. Paper right, the permabanned planet. Permabanned, and yet everyone always talks about it like it's the shithole of the universe and nobody wants to live there. Sure, people post semi-funny anecdotes about the place from time to time, but you've never seen an actual writing that takes place there. Who would want to write about a place that anyone who posts there is never allowed to post from again? Hans Smolman, I'm a columnist there. You play around on Peanut's computer while you stand in his doorway, giving yourself a little pat on the back for finding something on as pointless endeavor as Googling your own name. There's your daily report card which lists you among the student IQ statistics. There are several websites devoted to various games of chance found in the cafeteria, all with A's for their winners. You scan the forums of various debate classes you participated in, seeing if anyone has mentioned you. You are the farthest from lonely, for the time being. The beginning of the end. Save game. You, a shout out, of sorts. Greg Tahan is a tough guy to find information on online. You snag a class with him for tomorrow, before giving up and deciding to pay a visit to his table in the cafeteria during lunch. You certainly can't miss him there. He's a mercenary turned mercenary teacher in his first year of teaching. Later, you approach and you are not at all prepared for his answer to your probing questions. Like this question, you like this probe? Can I probe you with it? He holds up the thermometer Erin Stickles told you about. Where to begin? Perhaps, as is inevitable, with his obesity, his prodigiousness spans a small ocean of his own free will. Pressing your ear against his gut, listening to whatever sloshes around in there, you suspect manhood may rise up out of one of his three chins and swallow you whole. Please don't.
And with that, we'll end for the day. Okay, good night. 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 Good night.